Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you what I wore for the week. It wasn't that many, there was only 5, but bizarrely, these are ones that are kind of ride or die for me. Like I've loved them forever, and nothing was working for the week. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. So I thought I'd share you my experience, and then I have one fragrance that I was given quite a while back and thought I'd share my thoughts on. It's a celebrity fragrance. So first fragrance that I put on was La Petite Robe Noire Légère or Hippie Chic. So this is a very sweet, powdery version of La Petite Robe. I find La Petite Robe Noire to be rather powdery in the first place. So the original is kind of a cherry fragrance. Cherry and black tea, I believe, are the primary notes. This one has some raspberry in it. I think there's a couple other fruity notes. And so it's sweeter, it's lighter, it's more airy, and it's more powdery. So it's a nice enough fragrance, but if I was gonna go for more of a synthetic kind of candy-like fragrance, I would probably choose Sweet by Lolita Lempicka. Out of the two of these, I prefer Lolita Lempicka over this one. And this one's more pricey, and I think this one's hard to get at this point. I've worn this a little bit, but overall, this is not one that I'm thrilled with from the get-go. Like, it's nice, but it's just kind of mediocre. So yeah, not quite sure what to do. It's gotten very little wear out of my collection, although it looks like there's quite a lot gone from there. It's a pretty tiny bottle, so I've worn it maybe 3 times altogether for a full day wear. Yeah, it's sweet and it's fleeting and it's too synthetic for me to really enjoy. It feels very, very juvenile. It's a pretty scent, but yeah, lately not really digging it. Now this one was quite a shock. Like I normally love this fragrance. Like I'm horrified because I love these next ones. I couldn't get on with it this week, and that was OLYMPEA AQUA LEGERE. Of course, it's got the salt. It's got kind of a solar quality. It's got the vanilla. So you get that salted vanilla. I don't know what it is because I've always loved wearing this. I don't know if it's starting to turn on me. It could just be my mood. This week was, you know, when you have moods where you're just kind of like, that was kind of my mood this week. So, yeah, maybe that was part of it. But I put this on and instantly regretted it. And it's the first time I've ever instantly regretted this. So the weather has been really kind of cold and damp. So maybe that has to do with it. I associate this with warm. And what I was really craving were fall fragrances because it was just so cold and rainy. So maybe that's part of it. But this, which normally has always been a major player, top shelf, easy reach, just didn't work for me this week. Next fragrance, again, like this one's even more cozy, and it's I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess. So I really enjoy this fragrance normally. Like I smell it now and I'm just loving it. The OLYMPEA one, when I smell it, whoa. When I smell it, I'm not really, it's not doing it for me today either because it's still kind of cold and rainy. Now, I don't need a prince by my side. It's smelling delicious. I think the problem was the day that I did wear this, it was a little bit hotter. So it was too much or something. But yeah, like I've never had such a botched week in fragrances in all my life. Like, this one smells like a sweet kind of powdery. There's some matcha tea in here. There's ginger, there's peach. So it's delicious. It's mouth-watering. It reminds me of Lyra. I know some people don't think it smells like Lyra. It just gives me that same sort of feel. So I'm not saying that they're dupes or anything like that. Although if I had to choose between buying this one or Lyra, I'd choose Lyra, I think, but I really like having this one in my collection. That said, I don't wear it very often. So I've had this travel spray for like, I think 3 years, and I still have probably a couple mils at least maybe 3 mils left of this fragrance. So it's not like I've worn it a ton, but I do like having it. But yeah, for whatever reason, it just wasn't working. It, like, the cozy vibe with the heat, it just was like wrong. It's like when some friend just can't stop touching you, like, you know, when they're like kind of just all over you, like, or if a guy, like, just, you know, you're doing the dishes or something and they want to like basically like be all over you. That's what this felt like. It just didn't work. So the next fragrance I tried was Hue by Hayley Kiyoko. Now she's a celebrity. I have never heard of her, but I'm not like, I'm not up on these things. So maybe she's like super famous. Anyway, they were kind enough to send this to me, which I really appreciate. I always appreciate getting fragrances. This fragrance isn't for me. I find it rather synthetic. So it's got some blood orange in it. There's freesia, there's watermelon, lychee, rose petals. I think there's peony or something of that nature, cacao in the base. It smells like kind of a typical sweet red berry fragrance. I can see a lot of teens enjoying this fragrance just because it's so sweet. There is a mouth-watering quality to it, but it's quite synthetic. This lasts about 4 hours before becoming a major skin scent and quickly dying away to nothing. I'd say you get about 2 hours of projection out of it. I'm not even sure of the price on it. I'll link the website so that you guys can check it out. This certainly isn't for me. This is something I would pass on to someone a lot younger. I can see many younger audiences enjoying this as a, you know, your typical celebrity fragrance. That's what you're getting in this. You know, I feel the same way, honestly. I know lots of people like why can't I remember her name? I'm a bad girl. Dooba 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 dooba. What's her name? What's her freaking name? I'm a bad girl. I hate it when my brain goes dead. Anyway, it smells like, you know, kind of your typical celebrity fragrance. And what I mean by that is a little bit more synthetic, not very long lasting, your sweet, fruity berry type fragrance. That's what you're getting in this. Longevity, not fantastic. So that's what I consider a typical celebrity fragrance. Whereas something like the Sophia by Sofia Vergara, it's a little bit more complicated. It's not as synthetic. To me, it's more of a designer type fragrance, but this definitely fits in the celebrity category as your typical celebrity fragrance. Really would be great for a teenager. Certainly is not something that I would want to wear. Last fragrance, and this is horrifying to me because I love this fragrance. I talk about it all the time. I pet it. I can't get enough of like touching this bottle and just oohing and awing over it. I've worn it a decent amount of time. Like I can see I'm down to about there. But I did not enjoy wearing this week. And it was a cloudy day, so I thought this would be perfect for the day. I just didn't enjoy it. I like a lot of times when I put this on, it's like, you know, like that. This week, I'm like, what did I put on? Like, it was so unmemorable. I couldn't even remember what I put on. And then I'd get whiffs of it every once in a while and go, ugh. So I don't know what the deal is, because normally I love this, but this week, every time I smelt it on this week when I wore it, every time I smelt it, like I can't stop doing this because every fragrance just kind of sucked, which you got to realize it's my mood. It's got to be my mood because I normally love this fragrance. And if I would have been doing something fun or whatever, maybe I would have loved this, but it was kind of a ho-hum, not very fun week, except for going out with my sister. I hung out with my sister and we laughed our guts out. So that was fun, but I didn't even wear a fragrance for that time. So overall, lackluster, not fun week in fragrance. Like, do you guys have weeks like that? Like, it didn't matter what I put on. I think I wouldn't have liked it. And I only wore 5 fragrances. Normally, like, I actually wear quite a few fragrances. Like, I'll wear 2 fragrances even during a day, and I have to cut it out or cut it down what I talk about because I have too many that I try. But this week, I didn't even care if I put on a fragrance. So it was just one of those weeks. Literally did not enjoy any of my loves. Like, what the heck? So let me know, does that ever happen to you? It was just a week of poo. Like, it just was not a fun week in fragrance. I'm just sad. Like, even fragrances I tested, I was like, so I think it was me, 100% me. So don't blame these fragrances. Normally they're awesome, other than Le Petit Robe Noir, Legere, or Hippie Chic. That one, I'm thinking of decluttering it just because it's kind of redundant in my collection and I don't love it. So that one is a legitimate not love. The Hailey Kiyoko one, that's a legitimate don't love fragrance. It's just a celebrity fragrance that's not for me. But the other 3, like, they have my heart. They've had my heart forever. So yeah, gonna wait a while and try them on again because it was just weird. So anyway, that is it. I hope you have an amazing week. Weigh in, let me know if that's happened to you. What fragrances have you absolutely loved and then all of a sudden you're like, ugh, not into it? Does it happen? Is it a one-off, or is it the end of you loving that fragrance? Please weigh in and let me know. Other than that, I hope you have an amazing week and we'll talk to you soon.